Hello, good morning. This is Nosheen Mukhtar, and you're watching me live in the Wellbeing Show. I'm very delighted to have you with us today. And again, in the fourth episode, we are going to discuss the complications that affect a relationship and cause mental health issues. With me, once again, is wonderful Sharmishta Mitra. She's going to help us in understanding relationships better. She's going to help us decipher the problems, the causes behind those problems, and how we can lead a better life. Welcome to the show, Sharmishta. How are you?
Thank you, Nosheen. As usual, I'm excited again to be here with you.
Thank you. So, how has your week been to begin with?
My week and the weekend went very well, and yesterday after work, I had even gone to watch a movie and spent time with friends, came back home quite late. So, uh, kind of finding a balance between work and life is good.
Right. I'm very happy that all 65 of you are with us today. So I should be getting 65 messages of a hi and telling me how is your day. Also, we would love to get your comments about any complications that you are experiencing in building quality relationships so that we can make this conversation more interactive with you and you are able to benefit from it. So we are welcome to receive your comments about relationship problems, and we are definitely going to show the comment to Sharmishta and get her opinion on how we can build better relationships. Let's begin the show, Sharmishta, and let's talk about what a relationship is really all about. Is it just about feeling attracted to someone and building a kind of intimate communication, or is it something that goes beyond this?
Uh, So the first thing that we are talking, let's clarify which kind of relationship we are talking about. We are
Yes.
focusing on romantic, intimate relationships here, right? So the first thing that plays a very big role in any intimate romantic relationship is physical attraction. So unless we feel physically attracted to that person, we won't even try to know them better. So once that happens, then we go forward. We are trying to know them over time. We are trying to connect with them. We are trying to let them know us, and the things follow from there. But I mean, the first thing that everyone should keep in mind is the relationship really goes forward when there is a factor of attraction.
Very true. So people who enter a relationship is certainly following the first rule of being physically attractive or of liking someone. So
Yeah,
it
there
begins
has
from
to be some
liking.
element of attraction. Some people can be attracted, stimulated mentally, like they like stimulating conversation and they are not so
Hmm.
much into the physical appearance of the other person. So for them,
Yeah.
the element of attraction could be that mental stimulation that they get, in a conversation or that excitement that
Hmm.
develops when the person is in front of them. So there has to be that element of attraction, whether it's physical or mental or emotional, doesn't matter, but it has to be
Yes.
there. That's the first step.
Many people feel attracted to intelligence as well. So if they find someone smarter, someone who has an opinion, they find attracted towards that person. This is also true.
Yeah. So that is called mental stimulation. So that person is able to create some kind of excitement by their intelligence or the conversation they can hold and the magnetism that they can hold in the conversation. That
Hmm.
creates that excitement and that creates
Right.
attraction.
Right. So, Shamishta, what I have noticed is that it's very difficult for a few people to build quality relationships. How, what do you think? What are the factors that make it harder for a person to build lasting, high quality, thriving relationships? What could be the reason?
Um, so Nosheen, first of all, it is not about some people. All of us, in general, we find it hard to sustain in a long-term relationship. That's why today's generation is about instant gratification, right? I want it right now, and when right now is not happening, then people are ready to quit and to go ahead with their life. But in the olden generations, people stuck around. Even if things didn't work out, they adjusted, compromised, and relationships lasted longer. So, what we can do individually to make this relationship or any relationship that we get into is, first of all, keep this mindset that this what you feel now, the as we call in relationship like counseling, this is the for every relationship the beginning few months or years is called the honeymoon period, where everything looks perfect. And this is not going to last long unless, in the honeymoon period, both the parties start to make effort to nurture this further. So, every one of us who are in a relationship or who are going to be in a relationship have to keep this in mind that this is not going to last forever on its own unless they make effort to make it long lasting.
So the effort has to be made from both sides. This is what I believe. Both partners
Absolutely,
need to make an effort.
absolutely. Nosheen, take it like if even if you many people might not agree with this. Let's say nature has not built us to be monogamous. Nature has not built us to stay with one partner forever because that's how we are. So when we are in an institution of marriage where we are supposed to be with another person, let's say for the rest of our lives, we need to
Hmm.
make it work. And to make it work means we need to put a lot of effort so that we can continue what's working and to develop this and evolve together in that relationship. Otherwise, it will get boring, it will get stale, and we wouldn't find our partners attractive enough after some time, and the relationship will fall apart.
I'm going to discuss different types of personalities next. But before that, let us talk about the complications. What kind of complications do usually occur? And what are the causes behind those complications?
In a relationship, like I know you have heard about it, that relationships are mirrors to your own soul, which you cannot see in yourself will be shown by your partner. So that is the first complication that arises in a relationship is when we can see through them those parts of us which we don't like or which we haven't really liked from a long time ago. But we have managed to hide it or repress it. But in an intimate relationship, it is exposed. We are completely exposed. And that other person in our life can see through us. So they will be able to, identify those aspects of us which are dark, which are ugly, which are not likable, which we ourselves don't want to own up to. And that is where the relationship problems will start.
Do you think that all mirror reflections by the other partner are always accurate? Because sometimes what I believe and what I have seen also around me is that one person's perception is affecting the mirroring reflection, and his past or her past experiences, the gaps that he, or let me say, the problems that he or she has faced in life, the kind of interpersonal interactions that have occurred during the childhood also affect the mirror image that he or she is creating of the other partner.
So the mirroring is both side. It's not one sided. As much as the woman in the relationship is mirroring the man's trauma, the man is also mirroring the woman's trauma. So it's both sided.
Right. So this is what I mean, that if one partner, like we have discussed, that when let's say very different mirror image or reflection has been created by one of the partners, the other partner feels uncomfortable and rejects it, and that causes complications because it's difficult. Perhaps that partner has not expected this to happen or this to be discovered. Right. This is what we said. So the formation of that image, what can be incorporated in the process of formation of that image? That's where I am, and that's what I'm saying, that their childhood experiences, their experiences with other people, their relationships with other people affect to build that reflection, and it might not be 100% accurate, and this could be also a reason that the recipient partner is rejecting that.
Let me give you an example so that it becomes easy for everyone to understand. This is like from a case study. Uh, a daughter is born in a family where, an Asian family, where a boy was more wanted. So when the daughter was born, the daughter grows up feeling unwanted. Then the brother comes into the family. And obviously, the brother becomes the most important part of the family because a boy child was always wanted. So the daughter or the girl grows up feeling she is not important and she is not wanted, let's say. But she manages to live with that. Over time, that feeling becomes less. Maybe she becomes an achiever in school, in university, where her achievement, let's say, covers up all those sadness inside of her, or those feelings of I'm not important or I'm not wanted, gets covered up over time. But that doesn't mean it goes away. It's still there. And now, over time, she gets married to a man who focuses on only work. And work is the only important thing for him. What do you think is going to happen to the girl? She's always going to feel again the same feelings of her childhood, but from a different person, in a different way, where she will feel neglected, rejected, unwanted, and unimportant to the husband. But it has nothing to do with the husband now. What the husband is mirroring is an issue of the girl which has been repressed inside over time, neglected and forgotten, but it's not gone from her, it's still there. So we have to understand this mirroring is very important for now this girl to identify what in her is still not healed. And if in general, when the people come for therapy, they will be coming with complaints that, look, my husband doesn't give time, he doesn't have any time for me, and I'm always the last person in his list, and I'm always rejected. Whatever I say, he just says no, he doesn't have time. So that is where she will come for therapy, more or less wanting to change the husband into giving her what she wants, which will not happen until she looks inside and heals her personal trauma, the past trauma from her childhood, which she has been carrying inside of her. Once that happens, then those triggers or the husband's behavior or the husband's attitude will not be affecting the woman in the same way anymore. And then the wife or the woman will be more open to discussing things in a more effective way to get results.
True, I got this. Good. I will move a little bit because we are receiving some questions from the audience, and there is also input. So that will help us in keeping them engaged with us and connected. So I have a comment from Khurram Khalik. He says, what would be the core essence in keeping a relationship alive? When issues leave scars, you stay away, and that creates cracks.
Yeah, so whenever there is a trauma or or a challenge, let's say, a difficulty in a relationship, naturally our biological, physiological, emotional response is to run away from it, and we all do that. When we run away from it, Let's say, focus all our attention into work or something else, or go and have another relationship, or something that will take away this problem from our mind, we divulge into that, which is not going to work, because at the end of the day, running away will not create a solution. We have to sit and reflect and confront what it is that's causing the problem, face the challenge in the proper therapeutic way, face it, and then only we will be able to overcome it. Otherwise, we will always find excuses to blame someone else or to run away from it, which will never ever give a solution. Noshin, you're muted.
Okay,
Yeah.
now it's better. All right, what has happened during our discussion is we have received a number of questions, and the questions are a little different from what we were discussing because we were talking about intimate relationships. So, so what do you recommend? Should we continue and complete our discussion on intimate relationships before we move on to its
The
professional
others,
relationships?
of course, are there questions related to romantic intimate relationships? We can answer those and then move on to the others.
Hmm. So we do not have more on intimate relationships. Let's complete our discussion on intimate relationships. So when it, like we have discussed that yes, there is going to be escape, there is going to be a problem when there are past traumas interfering with a person's perception, and that is going to affect the way they respond to the partner. What causes mental health issues? What kind of complications in a relationship can cause mental health issues? At what point do we realize that we really need to deal with mental health issues? And then there is time for us to have therapy.
Uh, in general, I'll talk about what happens in general. People wait for crisis to happen to seek help. But I always advise that it is not when crisis strikes that you should seek help. When things are in perfect order, then you should know how to maintain this order. So, in order to do maintenance of what is working for you, you should seek help first, not when everything is falling apart. Because when everything starts to fall apart and people are seeking help at a stage where there is already, we are developing intolerance for the other. So no matter what therapy we have developed a certain kind of dislike for our partner, intolerance for them, and it nothing can take it away or bring that intimacy or that attraction back again into the relationship. So it is my advice, and over the years, I have seen this over and over again, that people only seek help when they get into a crisis stage. Please, please, please do not do that. Think how you can improve your relationship when everything is going well. That is when you have to have a coach, a therapist beside you to understand how. It is not like, okay, I'm in a problem, so I have to seek help. It's how to make this happen for longer period, how to improve on this, how to better in this. That should be the focus of individuals and couples, that how I can improve my relationship, how I can become a better husband, better wife, a better partner for my in this relationship, not because how things are not working and let me go and fix it.
Hmm. But normally people go to seek help when they see that the problem has grown too much and they will not be handle it.
Yeah,
They
and
will not.
I've noticed when
Yeah.
people come during that stage, they are usually having either they have developed hate for each other, strong dislikes for each other, lot of intolerance for each other. In that stage, no matter what therapy you do, it's just putting pieces together which doesn't fit in properly. They're just there because of social reasons, because of children, because of financial reasons, but they don't get together anymore how they used to be in the past.
Hmm. We have a question from one of our listeners, which is very relevant. So, after listening to all of what we are saying, Shruti Rajpal is asking, what do you suggest? We should adjust and compromise in marriage to bring balance, or you think we should accept the other person's personality and enjoy our lives and grow?
Again, Swati, I'm going to tell you what I already told in the past episodes, that there are two things we should always keep in mind: love and live. Loving is different than living. When we are in love with someone, we love unconditionally. But when we begin to live with those people, there are certain conditions for living which both the parties need to follow in order to create harmony in the relationship. If those conditions are not fulfilled by either or, then we create chaos and disharmony in the relationship. So accepting the other's personality and enjoying your life and grow is, then why are you in a relationship? Like, relationship is because when two people want to grow together, not growing individually. That we can do without being in a relationship. We don't need to be in a relationship to do that. But when we want to grow together, we want to support each other in the growth and evolve together, learn from each other, challenge each other, and then evolve into better relationships. I mean, as I said, better partners, better human beings. That should be the focus of the relationship. And for that, we have to place certain conditions. Those conditions need to be fulfilled by both the parties. And if those both the people continue to fulfill those conditions, then we can continue to have harmony in the relationship.
Right, that's very true. So, enjoyment and growth will not occur if each of the partners will not occur in a more harmonious way if each of the partners is trying to do it individually and is not open to accept and understand that they have to support the growth and enjoyment for their partner as well. That is
that's
important.
that is where we need to understand each other, and we need to understand, okay, this is what stimulates my partner, and what can I do to improve myself to deal with that. So the goal of every couple should be, how can I be a better partner in the relationship?
Very true. So, what are some of the good ways to be a better partner? Let's list those to help everybody understand so that they're able to follow them.
So what I learned in life from my experience and my personal experience of being in a marriage for the last 27 years is that accepting those, as we said, the mirroring is very important to understand. When your partner is mirroring the not so nice parts of us, they project us as very bad people in their conversation or in their attitudes, in their behavior. They blame us, or they put pointed the finger on us. Those are the moments which we do not like, basically, and those are the moments that we get challenged. So, if we do not understand what is actually happening, the feeling, we are looking at their behavior and we want to change their behavior, but we do not understand the feeling that is created by their behavior. And once we can connect with the feeling, we can understand where it is coming from. It is not, he is not the origin of that feeling. That feeling is coming from my past. Then we know how to deal with it better and how to become an adult emotionally and mentally, not just biologically and physically. When we know how to deal with our emotions properly, then actually, in the proper sense, we are becoming psychologically adults. Otherwise, we are still adults in the body, but with the mind of the child, the mental, emotional level of a child who needs to have instant gratification. And if there is no instant gratification, we kind of, like, fall apart. So that's the first step, is to know yourself. Know yourself very well before you get into any relationship. Please know yourself. Know who you truly are, not what you think you are. So you will list yourself by all your achievements. That is not who you truly are. That part of you which you don't know, which is under the surface of all of that, is also to be known by you first. If you do not know that, then when someone else will point that out, you will get challenged. You will get triggered. And those moments, the anxiety level will go up, stress will become high, and if you continue in this stressful environment over time, the body's stress hormones will create a lot of diseases. And over time, we know that so many people who are living in a relationship which they cannot handle, but they feel stuck in the relationship, they don't have any solution out of it. They get mental disorders, physical health issues. They are like their personalities change completely. Let's say a vibrant, vivacious person will become very dull, depressive person over time. So all a lot can be get accumulated over time if we do not handle the emotions that the others can trigger in us, especially those emotions that we don't want to feel.
When it comes to emotions that are too complex and difficult to understand, and we do not know how to heal from them, what is the best way to deal?
So none of us know how to deal with them. That's why awareness is very important. That's why, society in general, like if you think about society, what is society trying to teach us? Like what we as parents trying to teach our children from the beginning? How to get acceptance, how to become acceptable. That's all we are teaching. So, whether you have to be kind, polite, loving, achieving, successful, all of these are criteria to get acceptance in the society. That's all we are teaching our children. We are not teaching our children how to face rejection. We are not teaching them that rejection is a normal part of life. And wherever you go, you will, in every moment of your life, you're going to face rejection. So, when we do not teach them how to handle rejection, it is not taught in school, in universities, in our professional life. We need to take these courses, the workshops that are available. I am doing workshops every week, every month. There are workshops where I help people with the awareness, give them awareness so that they can apply in their life and understand themselves better and create better relationships and experiences. But people do not understand that this is also learning. You have to learn, it doesn't come on your own. It is because it is not taught to us from our childhood. What is taught to us from our childhood naturally comes to us because we have practiced it over time and we have perfected that art. But whatever is not taught to us, it's important that we learn, and there is no age to learn. We can learn at any time of our life, and any time is a good time to improve ourselves.
Good. So if we are ignoring the emotions that are bothering us and are not acknowledging them, are not understanding what to do next, are not seeking therapeutic help and support, um, what is the worst that we can expect?
The worst is already happening. We are falling apart. We are disconnected from within. We are trying to only do whatever it takes for us to get acceptance in society, at the workplace, in our relationship. We are hiding our true emotions from ourselves. We are denying it, and it is leading to a lot of disorder in the physical body. And you can see how all hospitals, all clinics today, they are doing so well. You go, people are there lining up in pharmacies, in diagnostic center. It's all because of this, that over time we have got so disconnected from ourselves. We have not learned how to deal with emotions. Those emotions which we call negative emotions are a part of us, and we have not learned how to deal with them. So we have to now pay the price through our body, because the emotions create stagnation in the body, and over time those parts in our body get weaker, and then we develop disorder in the body. Our immunity goes down. We are more vulnerable, more exposed to viruses and like other kinds of diseases that can come into the body. When our immunity goes down, our body's like immune system doesn't know how to fight back the foreign bodies that invade into the body. So over time, we are paying a very big price, you can see, with our health, by not taking care of our emotional health in the beginning, from the beginning.
Yes. Right, right. So I will move on now, Shamishta, towards the questions that some of our viewers have asked, they are related to different relationships. Some of our friends would like to understand how they can foster better professional relationships. Some people feel that it's harder for them to build positive relationships with colleagues and their bosses. How can they build better relationships in that space?
So, Nosheen, like as we see every structure, as we grow up in life, if you take the childhood structure, the family structure, where parents are the figure of authority, and our siblings, as per their hierarchy, they're around us. Like we know how to deal with them. The same protocol you have to just now take and put it in the workplace, where the boss is going to be the authority figure, and the relationship with the colleagues is going to be this exactly same how we had the relationship with our siblings at home. So if you understand what I'm trying to say is the essence of our relationship with the first authority figure that we had in our life in the childhood, whether it is our parents or our grandparents, if there was a dysfunction there in the beginning, that dysfunction will get reflected also when we go and work outside, like when we get ourselves out of the family unit and we start and go working in our workplace, because the same dynamics, relationship dynamics, will now be operating between the authority figure at the workplace and the person. There is some kind of dysfunction which will exactly be the same that have happened in the family. And the workplace scenario will be the same as the relationship between the siblings that they had. So, someone at the workplace will be reminding or will be triggering that same relationship, that the dysfunctional relationship with the sibling was there. This is such like I know it feels like so unreal or surreal, but life is such a magical journey. Everything that is unresolved in our past, we will have over and over like opportunities to resolve it. So in our workplace, if you see there is a dysfunction happening, whether it is with the boss, then try and ask yourself, does this remind you of your relationship with your father or your mother, or which authority figure from your childhood? Then you will know it is back then that relationship was dysfunctional, and the universe or God has given you somehow another opportunity to deal with this better this time. If there is a dysfunction happening between your colleagues and yourself, just sit back and ask yourself, how does this remind you of any other relationship from your past, from your childhood, like from a relationship that you had with your brother or your sister or with your friend at school? And you will see it's exactly the same dynamics which is being repeating again and again. So it becomes a pattern of like a vicious circle. If we do not know and if we do not identify the pattern, we'll be never able ever be able to close it and get out of it.
This is very interesting. And while you were explaining it, I could reflect back and see this is personal, but I'm going to share. I was little bit of a radical always. So I would always reject the approved and conventional ways of doing things, even when I was a kid. And I would find a new way of my own, and I would reject everything that is done by other people. So when I grew up and I started my first job, accepting authority was very hard for and
Definitely.
I was found defying the supervisors many times. And at times I would challenge their ideas during meetings and they hated me for that.
Yeah.
And that stayed with me, and even now it's sometimes difficult for me to fit in something which is conventionally being done and accepted by everybody. And I might come up with something totally different.
Yeah, I mean, see, that helped you to think out of the box, go out of the convention and do something different. But when you are in the authority figure, like you are the authority figure, and you have someone like you, a subordinate under you who is like you will know what they have gone through.
Yes, true. I agree with all of that. Okay, let's play one comment from Basir. He says, "Hi there, I have a major problem with professional relationship building. I trust blindly, and therefore I have to face huge issues. Trust
Okay.
blindly, huge issues."
First of all, I do not understand, like, as if like trusting blindly means what? Is does it make you more dependent on that person? So, if that is what is happening, I believe uh, you need to understand that trusting someone is your, let's say, the word that you use is actually, it means that you want to depend on them to do things for you where you are not going to take the initiative. And if you do not take the initiative, then you feel like you're not taking the initiative and they are also not taking the initiative on your part, so you feel betrayed or let down in the end. So here you need to understand that trusting blindly is not actually trusting blindly. It actually means that you are depending on them to get things done for you. And which is not, if it's not working, that means this is not the way for you. You need to take the initiative yourself and get things moving far by yourself instead of depending on that person, the authority figure or the professional in that professional environment where you are expecting them to do things for you.
Right, very interesting. While we were discussing we were trying to establish this analogy between the relationship in siblings and relationships at work. We got a question from Maria. She is asking, what is between siblings relationships and professional relationships connection? Like she's saying, what is the connection between these two
It's a dynamic.
relationships
There
and
is
with the
no
people at
connection.
work?
It's the dynamics. So, like for a child born into a family, the authority figure is the parents, and the siblings, let's say, are the colleagues at that point. And if you take the child out of the family, now an adult, and place them into the professional workplace, professional environment, the same dynamics that the parent had played now is played by the authority figure at the workplace, and the dynamics that the siblings had played is played by the colleagues. That's what I mean. Nasheen, you're muted again.
I'm actually muting again and again because there are a lot of people coming and going around me from the meeting rooms. They come out for refreshments and then it's a disaster. Anyways, so I was saying that we have received a question about building better relationships with clients. So one of the business owners have just said, and I'm looking for the comment to show it physically to you in text. They have said that um, we have difficulty in making good relationships with our customers. Here, let me show it. Sardar Ahmad Khan.
So building relationship with customer means what? Like, do you have any specific difficulties or challenge? It's a general question. I don't have a general answer for this, but if you have a specific challenge, then I can address that.
Good. So most of the relationships, Sharmishta, are also originating from the way we respond and the way we set expectations. And it,
Yeah,
it stands true for family relationships, for intimate relationships, for work relationships, and even relationships between service providers and the clients.
absolutely.
What are
Expectations
best
is a normal
practices?
thing in every relationship. Like, I think last time we spoke about how our like caveman ancestors started to live together, right? We started to live together because we had to depend on each other for our safety, for our survival, right? So naturally, there's going to be expectations. I'm going to do something for you, and you're going to do something for me. And those expectations need to be understood, expressed, and fulfilled. Whenever there is a miscommunication, it is not properly understood, there will be a lack in fulfillment as well, and then the disappointment will come. So we need to know exactly what we are expecting from the other and communicate it in the most efficient way, and let them take the responsibility that this is what they are getting into, And if they agree that, okay, this is what I'm getting into with all my consciousness and sensibility, and I'm going to take the responsibility of this for as many years I'm committing myself into it. That is what is expected from two adults, right? They, with their whole consciousness and sensibility, they are understanding what they're getting into, what is expected from them, and what is they are expecting from the other. They're communicating, understanding, and taking the responsibility of that, and willing to work together to fulfill that together. And if this is how we go along in every relationship, that I want this from you, Noshin, and you said, okay, I want this from you, Sharmishta, and we agree that we are going to live by this commitment that we have made to each other, and for this period of time that we have signed up the contract for, and then we fulfill it. Why is there going to be any complication?
Unless either of us refuse to fulfill what is expected.
Or we did not understand what we are getting into.
Very true. Very true. Um, moving on, what are the best ways? I know it's a little bit of a repetitive question, and but this is my final one. I would like to know the best ways to sustain better mental health and remove some of the complications in our day-to-day relationship interactions.
I would really, really suggest everyone, all the viewers, that to come out of this mindset that I am going to only seek mental health only when I am in a crisis. Please attend workshops. Please attend seminars. Please, there are so much available today in Dubai and around the world, wherever you are watching from. Please go there. You might also come for individual awareness sessions. It doesn't have to be, oh, I have this disorder. I'm coming for awareness, individual awareness sessions, so that the therapist can help you to understand yourself better by what you are just, if, when a client comes and talks and says, oh, I am this and I want this, the moment they talk, I can understand also what they are not saying. So, from what they are not saying, I can help them to understand that this is also what you are because you are not saying this to me, which normally we do not, as a layman, we will not be able to understand. We want to understand the person from what they are not saying about themselves. So, this is very important for every individual to understand that you all and every one of us, including me, we need to take out time to become aware. And that can only happen when you expose yourself to things that you do not know, you have not heard of, you have not learned about in school or college. And for that, again, you have to invest on yourself, your time you have to invest. Go for workshops, go for seminars, come for awareness sessions. Don't wait for things to fall apart. Please, this is my request, because the society has been suffering a lot over time just because of this attitude that only when we are in crisis, that is the point when we have to seek help. Help is not for crisis, help is to become better.
Great. Thank you so much for today, Shamishta. We also
What
talked
if,
about.
like your child, let's say, or someone's child who is very bright, let's say, in school, and they are not failing in class? Do you think that they don't need, you would not give them any support at all because they are not failing in class? What
No,
will
of course,
happen
we
to
will
those
give them
kids
support.
who are really, like, if they get support, they are smart, plus with support they can become even better. So that should be the mindset. Not because I'm failing in class, I need to go to a teacher and take tuition to pass in class. We should look
Yes,
into
and,
mental
and
health in the same way.
look at, and if you look at it closely, for all the learners at all ages and different stages of their learning process, the support remains there through and through,
Yeah,
without thinking of the results.
absolutely.
Because this is the support system is a way of empowering them, and I believe that when it comes to building and fostering better relationships, the support needs to be sought after more and more, because the more support you look for, the more you will receive, and the better life you will be able to lead.
After all, that should be the goal. How can I become a better person? How, after all, how can I become a better partner? That should be the goal. And if we all are seeking how to become a, let's say I'm seeking to become a better wife for my husband, and my husband is seeking to become a better husband for me, I mean, that is like utopia, right? That is beautiful.
Yes, very true, very true. So it comes from both sides when both the partners in any kind of relationship are willing to open up and seek support, are willing to talk about anything that bothers them, are able to recognize, acknowledge, and be aware of their own feelings, emotions, and their expectations, are able to communicate about them openly. That's when they are able to build better relationships.
So
And
if,
it's
just
about
ask all the viewers if today when they go back home and to their partners, and they can sit quietly and ask their partner, so tell me, how can I become a better partner for you? What can I do? What actions, what activities, the ways that I can put in place to become a better partner for you? Just ask this question to your partner, and they will. You will have so much of revelations just from this question, the answer from this question. That will also be a very good guide for you for the to apply certain things in your life.
Yes, great. Thank you for this wonderful advice, Shamishta. And yes, today's session was very insightful. We had we had a great interaction from our friends. If there are any more questions, my dear friends, please feel free to ask now, so that we are able to respond to that and help you. Shamisha, the other day you were telling me about Decode You. So, is it a program that helps people in having a better awareness about themselves and being
Yeah.
more comfortable with themselves? Can you tell us
Yeah,
more about Decode You?
Decode You is a method which I founded, like from all that I learned, my academic qualifications, my experience over time that I have gathered. I have created a method which is a very simple, strategic method to understand yourself, like anyone, to and any individual to understand themselves better. It's called decoding yourself. So decode you, decode the spelling and YOU. So it's decode you. And anyone who enrolls in the program will, in the like 3 to 5 sessions, they will gain a lifetime awareness about themselves. Like for me to get into this kind of awareness, it took me 32 to 34 years to arrive here. And you can imagine all my life's work, I'm like feeding them in a capsule and giving it to them. And that which I learned in so many years, they can learn in 3 to 5 sessions. So you can imagine how their like time will be compressed for them. Time compressing capsule. It's just like that, and it gives you so much awareness about yourself that in every aspect of your life you can apply. If you apply those rules and see how improved every relationship can be. You're muted again.
Okay, sorry once again. All right, so Malik Sahel wants to join that. Do you have Decode You online so that we can share
It's on
via
the
direct
website.
messages?
Yeah, it's on the
It's on the
website.
website. It's on the website. Okay. So you can simply go to yourwellbeingsanctuary.com and look for the program Decode You, and you can register there, and you will be able to receive online sessions that are a part of the program. And it's very easy and convenient. Should you want to talk more about the therapeutic programs offered by Sharmishta, all you have to do
I would,
is look at
I
the
like
data
invite
below.
people to join the workshops. I mean, you don't have to
Exactly.
spend a fortune, to join a workshops. So at least with when you join workshops, it's a group workshop. So you will have people interacting. like-minded people coming and asking questions and getting answers, and me, I'm sharing more specific answers than generally speaking about things. And that could be, the first step. And then if you want to enhance that knowledge, you can always come and for individual awareness sessions. But you can start with any workshop that I'm doing at the Wellbeing Sanctuary. Sign up, enroll, and you don't have to spend a fortune for that.
The contact number and email address is running in the ticker below, and you can always note it down from there. You can revisit this session to note down any details you wish to, and you can always contact Sharmishta for further assistance. Thank you so much today for the wonderful show, Sharmishta. I really enjoyed our conversation. I believe our audience has learned a lot today and they will be able to make lives better.
I hope so. I hope somehow this can connect to people, and people will feel free more to talk about relationship problems. And it's not a taboo to seek help. It's not a taboo to wanting to improve yourself and your relationship. It's normal to become better in everything that you do.
Right. Thank you so much. Have a great day. And till the next episode, bye bye to everybody.
Bye, everyone.